What's up, guys? I'm going to walk you through my stubborn fat loss cheat sheet in the 6 major steps you'll need. And if you do these 6 major steps and you do them consistently and you do them right, you will get rid of stubborn fat for good. Despite working a lot of hours every week, not having a lot of time for your workouts, and just eating on the go consistently. And for some of you who are maybe new to my world or maybe don't know who I am, my name is Tyler Jones, and I was a sports sales exec for about a year in the NFL. And 4 months into being a sports sales exec, that is when I saw my world kind of flip upside down. And I realized my health and my weight was getting really out of control. And in those 4 months, I gained 30 pounds. My energy levels completely dropped, and I could just barely get up the steps without gasping for air. Unfortunately for me, all the weight went to my face, my chest, and my stomach. So when I was looking in the mirror, I was just super disappointed in myself because I wasn't me anymore. I was just unrecognizable. And it was all because I was working 70 to 80 hours a week and just putting all my time and energy into my career, kind of stuck in this all or nothing mentality. And I'm sure some of you guys can relate out there. And it honestly felt like I was a car broken down on the side of the road, waiting for AAA, someone to come save me. And I didn't have any spare tire, and I was just watching all these cars pass me by, and I just felt stuck, just on the stuck of the highway with no way to get out. And that's when I really, decided to just take control of my health and really just prioritize it and kind of just figure this out with my health and fitness. And successfully, I was able to figure it out and get myself out of the hole. And then I was finally able to help others get out the hole as well. And that's kind of where it led me to where I'm at today. And if you're someone who wants to lose, some body fat and double your energy or look like the guy on this cheat sheet, make sure to listen up as we dive in. And the first key principle and the first step is to dial in your nutrition. So I've made this mistake. Many other people make this mistake is they focus on eating just healthy or, cutting out carbs or, going after keto or, intermittent fasting in order to shed, stubborn belly fat or body fat. And this is just flat out wrong. It is flat out wrong, especially if you're trying to get rid of stubborn fat sustainably and keep it off forever, right? And it kind of brings me back to, my client, Devin. Who I was just chatting with last week. And, he's down 5 pounds in his first month while, eating pretty flexible dieting and just having, a lot of different foods. And I remember him telling me he remembers when he was in a place where he had cut up all carbs and, lost 25, 30 pounds. And then he just was super frustrated years later trying that same exact thing and just not working more than 2 weeks. And it just wasn't sustainable for him, and he always felt himself starting and stopping. And he actually believed carbs were a bad thing, and then once we've dialed in his calories, just like I do with all my other one-on-one clients based off of, their height, their weight, their activity level, their lifestyle, it's too in-depth, so I couldn't do it on this video. But once we dialed in his calories and off of that specifics, that's when he was able to see great results. And that's the same thing. It's not about eating healthy. It's about eating right, guys. It's about eating right. So again, step one is to dial in your calories. And because, like I mentioned, I can't, do what I do for my clients on this sheet. Here is a macro and a calorie calculator, and this will give you a ballpark, at least for your calories on where you should be in order to, shed body fat. It's not perfect, but it will give you a ballpark again, so that way you can start at least get moving and get the ball rolling. And step two, eating foods that are low in calories, that keep you full longer. Some go-tos are chicken breasts, protein shakes, protein bars, things that are high in protein but will keep you full longer, so you don't tend to overeat and you're easy to stick within your calories, once you have those dialed in. And then number three is to eat well balanced meals and aim for about 3 a day. Again, the biggest mistake people make is they try to, intermittent fast or cut out carbs or just kind of not eat throughout their day. And I've seen this easily in the sports world. When we're stuck on the grind, we easily forget to eat throughout the day. And what this does is it ends up hurting our energy. We end up binging a lot. I've made that mistake as well, where I found myself binging a lot on the weekends and, snacking a lot because I just wasn't fueling my body properly, every single day. So here's a quick example of, what a plate should look like. 50% veggies, 25 and 25 for proteins and carbs. And if you just do this 3 days, 3 times a day, while having your calories and dialing that in, you will see results. You will see fat loss, start to, be successful. Because again, you have your calories dialed in and you have, again, a breakdown of how your meal should be about 3 times per day. And for me, I eat about 2,500 calories and about 180 grams of protein per day. My go-tos are chicken breast, ground turkey, flank steak, blueberries, strawberries, and obviously a protein bar and a protein shake daily. And obviously I eat 3 meals a day, mirroring this example above. So, and that is everything for nutrition, guys. And as we go into step 2, it is do progressive strength training. And guys, for this, the biggest mistake I see people make is doing things like 75 hard or working out, 7 days a week. And, or, doing a lot of like 4 to 5 sets per exercise and doing 10 exercises per lift where, they're stuck in the gym for 2 hours or because they believe they need that in order to see results. And that's just not the case. Imagine if with working out 7 days a week, if your boss just made you work 7 days a week and no lunch and no rest, how long do you really think you could go? Working just 7 days a week with no rest, right? It's the same thing with your body and your muscles. Working out 7 days per week is not sustainable long term, like we talked about. It's not sustainable for the long term. So again, just like with 75 hard and being intense, if it's not sustainable, then it's flat out wrong, especially when you want to shed body fat for the long term. And the same thing when you need a lot more volume or you need to be, spending a lot of time in the gym or hours in the gym, that's just not the case. Actually the same thing, with my client, Nick. I have Nick in the, the gym for only about 25, 30, 35 minutes. And he's already down 3 pounds in his first 2 weeks. Only because, he's hitting the right muscle groups and he's doing it in a timely fashion, right? So just as you can see right here, I want to give you guys break down an example workout. And like, for example, like on a Monday, full body 1A. You only really need 3 full body workouts per week to, maximize your week and not have to spend multiple days in the gym, so you can focus more on nutrition and focus on your career and kind of dedicate your time in other places as well. But you can see only 5 exercises per lift, right? Where you have a barbell bench press and a goblet squat, which are more of your compound movements, and then a machine row, a dumbbell deadlift, and a dumbbell ladder raises. Some of these are more also compound movements, but some are accessory exercises. So guys, I always do the breakdown of like at least 2 compound movements and then about 3 accessory exercises. And this will get the job done, especially once you have your calories dialed in. That's why step 1 is dialing your calories, and step 2 is getting down a simple workout regimen and routine. So guys, here's an example. And another big tip, if you are running low on time, you find yourself having to rush in the gym, these workouts right here take about 30, maybe 35 minutes, sometimes even 25. But if you're running low, all you have to do is superset your exercises. So for example, you would just do a barbell row and a goblet squat, right? One's working your back, the other's working your legs. And you could do 1 set and then another set for the other exercise, then take a rest, right? Because that will cut down your time. Also keep your intensity up because you're moving a lot, and get you in and out of the gym as quick as possible just by doing supersets, guys. And as we go back, and that's everything for step 2. And then step 3 is doing the inner work, guys. And as you can see, creating balance in our lives starts with energy and how our mindset is. And, as I mentioned before, it's easy as, chasing your career, being a perfectionist, kind of want success. It's easy to get stuck in that all or nothing mentality. And, just kind of just work, and just kind of F everything else until you get to where you want to be. And, I found it hard that most sports execs, or just people in general, think their life is like this, right? Where everything is balanced and even keel. And really, it's like this, where your work is a majority of your time, and then little time for your family, your health, and your spiritual and your mindset, right? And This leads to kind of being burnt out, stressed out, and just not feeling fulfilled, right? Not feeling just overall happy with where you're at in your life. And, this, as the stress starts to build up, this makes it very hard, as you see right here, to lose body fat due to the effects that stress does have on our bodies with, increasing our cortisol levels, right? And our body just always being in a state of fight or flight because it's just in a state of constant stress, right? So in order for, when you dial in your calories and you get your, dial in with your health and fitness and you do progressive strength training, the next big thing is doing the inner work, right? And making sure there is balance and stability in your life. So for me, my example is the way I do to go about creating balance and lowering my stress is I meditate at least 3 days per week just to kind of get my thoughts down and just kind of take a sec to just like kind of slow down life. And then I go for walks when stress is high just to clear my mind, just kind of take myself out of the environment so that way the stress doesn't just keep adding up. And then I do my work stuff around those fun events because then I always have something to look forward to, right? And it's always fun, that even though when I'm grinding, it's all going to pay off because I have something fun to look forward to. And with the next step, right, step number 4 is get the sleep, right? So I know in hustle culture, in sales, in this world, it's all about like, grind. And the first thing we want to do when we want to overachieve or, work overtime is we sacrifice our sleep, right? Most people are staying late at the office or they can't, when they get home, they can't go to sleep because their mind is constantly racing. And actually the negative benefits about that and the biggest mistake I see with that is, people sacrifice the sleep, but they don't realize the effect that it has on their body. When you don't get enough sleep, it actually increases your stress. It boosts your cortisol, right? And then when your body's in a state of stress, it makes it hard to lose body fat. And it starts to have things like effects on your nutrition where, could you have no energy, right? So it boosts your hunger. So all these things just start to happen, right? And they start to negatively affect your progress. So for me, the goal is to aim for about 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I close out work no later than 7:30. I stretch and read for about 20 minutes, and I take nightly supplements as I head to bed, which include like magnesium, ashwagandha, melatonin, glycine. Some are all natural amino acids, and they just help with de-stressing and kind of just making your body get into that cool state and go to sleep. Step number 5 is drinking water. So guys, the biggest mistake I see when it comes to, working in sales and just being in that hustle culture is most people don't drink water and they always settle for the coffee. I know for me, I was always settling for 3 or 4 cups of coffee and I would barely touch my water until about, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that always left me in a low energy state, and I always felt just super dehydrated, right? Also dehydrated because I'm not drinking water, and then dehydrated because I'm drinking caffeine, which also dehydrates you. So one of the biggest things is to get, like I said, about at least half of your body weight is a great starting point, and ounces of water per day is a great place to start. And if you want to take a deeper dive, you can use the calculator for water to get an exact, number based off of your stats. And then getting steps is number 6. So getting active. So guys, I know the biggest mistake I see is most people will stay glued to their desk and they will not move all day and just grind on the phones or just grind at their job. And this is a mistake because our body needs to stay active, right? When we stay active, our metabolism stays higher. When we stay active, we just feel naturally better and it's easier for our metabolism to, burn calories and our body be in a more higher production place because we're just staying active, staying healthy. And also just staying active is good for your heart health, and your cardiovascular health. So when it comes to getting your steps in, I would recommend, for me, some examples that have helped me is going for walks daily on lunch breaks. Get up every hour and walk around for 5 to 10 minutes. Take the stairs as much as I can and avoid taking the elevator, and getting a standing desk and put it underneath. That way I was able to, be on conference calls or, make phone calls to prospect calls, right? Or just have meetings and I could just kind of consistently get steps in. And you could find a lot of them with a standing desk and just slide this right under. And step number 7, guys, as we conclude the cheat sheet, is to book a fat loss audit. This is a free fat loss audit that I will do. We'll do a full assessment of your current fitness and nutrition regimen and a breakdown that what it would take for you to hit your goals and get rid of stubborn fat. Right? And based off of that call, guys, if I can help you out, we can kind of chat more about it. And if not, no worries. I'll point you in the right direction. No worries. So guys, that is the cheat sheet. I hope it was super helpful for you. And you guys, again, got a lot of value out of this, and I can't wait to be dropping some more value for you guys in the coming weeks, in the coming months. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day. Peace.